This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hashtag no music, no intro. The first episode of the hashtag Breakers Twitter podcast.
Breakers. New Orleans Breakers, baby.
Ryan, they couldn't give us one fucking day, bruh. Not even a full 24 hours. We recorded last night. 24 hours. We just did this episode talking so eloquently and loquacious about there's hope and they have a first round pick and that maybe that couldn't wait a day, Ryan. Not one fucking day.
Y'all niggas happy? All right.
In case you don't know what we're referring to, the Saints, they try to make it wax poetically, but basically the language is that they decided to move on and part ways with former co-defensive coordinator Kris Richard. And so this offseason alone, you have Ryan Nielsen become the DC defensive coordinator of the Falcons. Kris Richard, gone. Dan Roshire, gone. And I don't want to say too much on this episode because I think a lot of the things that we're seeing, we really dove into in the Patreon only podcast episode. For those who have heard that, if you haven't heard that, you need to become a Patreon and hear that, or just listen to it if you are a Patreon. But all I'm going to say is that there has been just a very consistent pattern that has been going on since Dennis Allen has become head coach of the Saints. Starting back with last off season when he was named head coach, you had Curtis Johnson, wide receivers coach, gone. There's someone else there's another coach that was also let go, other than Curtis Johnson as well. You have Kris Richard gone, Dan Roshire gone. CD Deuce was traded before the season started. And the same thread between all these individuals, whether it's a player or a coach, is anyone who, and I don't even want to say challenge DA's authority, because I don't even think it would be done in a manner that would be quote unquote challenging. Yeah. But it just seems, I want to say it seems like, but I want to just take that word away. It's not seems like, because this is what it is. Like, I don't know how to be as blunt or as forthcoming about it as it is that anyone who may not be a quote unquote yes man, whether you're a coach or whether you're a player, regardless of how talented you may be, you do not have a current spot for employment for the New Orleans Saints right now. It's a shit show, bro. It's a shit show, Ryan.
Shit show, bro. Such a shit show. I think back, I remember watching Hard Knocks years ago. It was when the Browns were on there. It was the year I think it was the year they drafted Baker Mayfield. I think it was that same year. And I just remember there was a scene where Hugh Jackson, he was still the coach. And he was having like a meeting with the head coaches or whatever. And, they were all trying to throw their input and this, that, and the other about, wide receiver core. I think they were waiting for Josh Gordon to come back and stuff like that. And he just kind of threw his hammer down like, look, I'm the head coach. I make decisions here. And all that stuff you talking, none of it matters because I'm the one making the decision. And it was just kind of weird because it was like early in the season, like, and it was like, damn, he throwing down the ham already. Like, it was just weird, like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying he's not a good head coach or not. I mean, look at his record or whatever. But it's just like, it was one of them things where I just was like, ugh, kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a certain way you lead. You lead. I don't even know if DA leads like that, but there's a certain way you lead, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't throw the hammer down. You know what I'm saying? You don't throw the hammer. You got to go to ways about it to show them your position. You know what I'm saying? And to demand that respect and to have people work within the structure of your organization. Like, there's ways for you to command that without having to just put your dick out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm not saying DA that way, but I get the feel that he's a little insecure when people
say it louder, Ryan. Say it louder, Ryan. We get into it. We get into the heart of it.
Insecure when people voice their opinions.
Just opinions, and that's why I didn't even want to say like they challenge him because I never got a sense that like they not a head coach, but like one of the coaches be like, you know, let's say it's like during a practice, right? Uh-huh. And DA sees something that he wants to address, but like maybe that's just wrong, right? Or just maybe it's not how that position coach would do it. Yeah, I'm not saying that they would put him on the spot in front of the team and challenge him and say, you know what, coach, like, you know, it's just like working in the office, bro. Like, you don't do that. Like, if you're a manager and you have a problem with another manager, you don't do that on the floor. You do that in the office. So, like, the direct reports don't see two managers arguing. You hit on it perfectly. Just that insecurity, and it goes like if you're that insecure, you should not and cannot be a fucking head coach in any professional sport.
Right?
Can't do it, bro.
Exactly, and that's why I brought up the Hugh Jackson one because that's the first thing that came to mind when I saw it. It was like he was coming off that winless season, but he didn't win any games. And to me, he looked like a man that was insecure. Because an insecure leader would do something like that, just put the hammer down, like, I'm the leader, I run things. That's insecurity right there. And like I said, I have no evidence that DA is running the ship like that. That's the feel I get, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's even more, the sense I've gotten and have maybe been alluded to is it's not like I see more of it as being, which is even more worse. Like it's more like it's a conniving type of thing.
Ooh, like smile in your face and then.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that's the worst, bro. Like that.
The worst.
That's like a insidious virus inside a building. You know what I'm saying?
And he's the CEO of the team right now, Ryan. And Mickey Loomis is tied to him, and that is Mickey Loomis's dude. I said it a little facetiously about it being a Breakers Twitter podcast, bro, but I don't know how many times I can say this until listeners get it, and I hope it doesn't happen, but I really have a feeling that all throughout this offseason, there are going to be moves that are made. I'm going to say it again. Almost the entire NFL, teams in the NFL, are laughing at the New Orleans Saints as an organization right now. I'm said it like 3 or 4 times, bro. And like when stuff like this happens today, it's like, okay, like, oh, I get it. Because people, I know people will say that DA is a good defensive coach, and I do think he is. However, I don't think people realize how much input people like Kris Richard, people like Ryan Nielsen had in that defense. If I'm going to be just real about it, the reason we saw this Caden Ellis glow up this season was because of Ryan Nielsen, because this man was standing on the table demanding that Caden Ellis get playing time. gone. He's not here no more. So if the guy who was standing on the table for a player is gone, what's to say that there's impetus for DA to tell Mickey that he wants him back next season? I'm not saying, and this is not me trying to say he's going to be back or he's not going to be back, but it wouldn't be surprised if they don't make it a priority, because the person that wanted him, the person that was right about him, is no longer in the building. Kris Richard's coaching history working with secondary players, cornerbacks, is like documented. Like,
Right.
that is documented. Like when Sean hired him, we were ecstatic.
Yeah, that was like, oh yeah, excellent hire. Because he was somebody that was getting head coaching like talk. You know what I'm saying? Before
was he the DC of the Cowboys? I'm thinking.
Yeah. He was with the Cowboys. Yeah. And look, I mean, I don't know, bro. It's weird. Like it's not so much about him, like Kris Richard, like the actual coach. It's just like, what are they doing here? You know what I'm saying? Like what's the reason in here? What are the reason you parted ways? What does that even mean? Like, is he fired? Did he leave on his own? Was his contract up? What does that mean? You know what I'm saying? And it was the same language with Curtis Johnson. Parted ways with Curtis Johnson. Why? Like, what was the reason? You know what I'm saying? And we'll never get those reports. You know what I'm saying? We'll never get the full tea of what's really going on. But it just feels, somebody just feels yucky, bro. And I can see it feels like, okay, DA got his own crew he bringing in. He got his guys. DA ain't got no guys, bro.
Like you said, bro, man don't got no Rolodex.
No Rolodex. And for the kids that don't know what a Rolodex is.
Oh, man. Oh, fuck, man. You just made us feel old as shit right now, bro. Oh, let me put it in the kids' terms. You go pull up your smartphone, go to your contacts. DA got like 5-6 contacts in that bitch.
5-6 contacts.
Mom, dad, wife, kids, bro. Ain't no NFL coaches in that bitch.
No coaches, dog. No go. You got to go on Facebook. See if I can find. Here's my dude on here.
You gotta go. You gotta go in your Outlook when you go to 2 and people you've emailed before. This man going to the NFL Outlook, bro. Like, who do I know?
Vic that Fangio. Can't email him.
I want, and I think I tried to, and I wasn't pessimistic yesterday. I was trying not to be pessimistic yesterday. I was pushing the hope train, and even me, bro. I was like, shit, they got a first round pick. Are they going to draft the right person? I don't know, man, but at least they got one. Like, I watched like 6 minutes of Anthony Richardson yesterday, and I was like, all right, like I could see it. That's just one player. In less than 24 hours, that little hope is gone. And I think the question, if you're a fan, you have to ask is like, well, shit, like what's going to make things change? And my response to that simply would be, if this season goes bad, and it's not great. So let's say how it's this past season just went, or worse. I really think us as fans, we do our part. I know we do our part. But fans, social media, whatever it is, man, there has to be a bigger outcry. There has to be more outcry in regards to the product that we're consuming as fans. Because teams, owners, nothing affects them more than their pocketbooks. Now, don't get me wrong. We're going to do our second annual podcast meetup. We're going to be in New Orleans. We're going to all go to a game together. We're going to do all that. But that said, if you have someone as an organization who's the head coach of an NFL team, and that person is insecure about themselves, first and foremost, that person shouldn't be a head coach. But if you have his boss who is so steadfast on proving everyone else wrong, about why the team was successful in the past, and in doing so, he may be willing to keep holding on to that head coach longer than he probably should have. Like, we got to get loud, bro. We got to get loud. I'm just saying.
I don't want to hear shit about, oh, y'all wasn't here for the Dicker days and the the before Jim Moore days. I don't want to hear nothing about all that. I don't want to hear nothing about, Mickey and them. They're not worrying about the fans. They're billionaires. I don't want to hear none of that. Raise some noise. Don't buy the beer. You go to the game, don't buy no concessions. Or don't go to the game. Or tweet at them, at Saints. Get on the social media nerd. I don't care.
Sorry, Repo. Sorry, Alec. You are due, bro. You are due.
I want to demoralize the social media worker of the Saints. Demoralize.
Like every morning they go with the fucking Twitter and they mention and say like 500 plus. They like, oh God.
Lord, they're like the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta Falcons official Twitter, bro. I know they just like fuck.
And I think getting back to the point that you made in regards to, like, so now what's the plan? So now there's no DC on the team.
Right? Defensive staff.
No defense. No. And back to the point, the one side of the ball, and there was some bumps early on, but the one side of the ball that played pretty well last season, you done lost two of those coaches?
That's what annoys me, bro. It's like
what?
It's like, okay, Nelson, he got hired away, but we know they could have kept him. We know they could have kept Nelson.
Okay, I can't even say nothing on it.
I know.
I don't think they could have kept him.
You don't think they could have kept him? Okay.
I don't think they could have kept him.
He would have gone anyway. He would have gone anyway. Okay. But it's like you couldn't even keep like a young, nice black head coach like Kris Richard, bro. Somebody that you couldn't elevate him to DC. No, can't do that. Can't do that.
Wow.
This dude, he won't bring in. Apparently, I saw Nick Underhill tweet that the Saints intend to restructure their defensive coaching staff. Like, what? First, why? What was wrong with it? And that Dennis Allen will continue to oversee everything and run their side of the ball, but the team will hire a defensive coordinator, one defensive coordinator, a defensive line coach, and a secondary coach, per sources. So, what you're telling me is the whole cold defensive coordinator thing didn't work out? Like, who would have thought? Who would have thought that wouldn't work out? Like, anybody who runs an organization should know that wouldn't work out. Anybody.
Yes.
Anybody, bro. You talk about one of the most competitive sports, competitive fields anywhere, bro. Like, all these dudes fighting and scratching to get to the top of the mountain. And you got a head coach who is the de facto defensive coordinator, and you're gonna put two co-DCs under them. Like, that was just so nonsensical to me, bro. And I knew it just wouldn't work out. I just knew at the end of it, somebody was gonna be out of there. Somebody. It just made no sense, bro. And it just shows, to me, it shows lack of leadership.
Yes. I don't know, man. I said at the end of last episode that this offseason we gonna really be feeling like the Popeyes lady, bro. Sure enough, the day after I said it, here we are recording this brief episode, and all like the pizzazz, the vibes, I've seen the timeline happy yesterday, making Sean Payton jokes. Oh, we can look at mock drafts. We can go to do our own little mock draft on PFF or whatever simulator. Gone, bro. Gone. And I think the worrisome thing what you just talked about is it goes back to one, how are they going to find these people unless they're going to just promote from within, right? That's my first question, how they're going to find these coaches to fill those positions. And then two, and I'm going to be careful how I say this because I don't want to give too much away for what was in the Patreon only episode, but how are you going to find people when people don't want to work at Dennis Allen? Okay. How are you going to find people when people in the league don't want to work with this man, Ryan?
Ooh-wee.
It's bad enough. It's okay. Let me say this. It's one thing to not have connections and not know how to network and just having limited contacts. But you put that compounded with maybe the few people in the league you do know don't want to work with your ass because one, they think that maybe you're not qualified for your job or maybe that you're a dumbass. Or two, they know that by getting hired by you that they're going to be on a sinking ship and it's no good for their career. What the fuck are we going to do? What are we going to do? Ooh, got me preaching on this bitch, Ryan.
And here's the thing, like, you know, like pretty much every coach has been in that position where it was hard to recruit coaches to your staff, you know, especially if you're starting out young. But you have to overcome that shit. Like, you have to have that coaching ability to be like, look, I'm going to carry the weight. And as you show that, it attracts more coaches to you. You know what I'm saying? Sean Payton was the same way. When he got here, he had a, ragtag coaching staff, bro. He was just put together with paste. You know what I'm saying? For Katrina, city was destroyed. The Saints been garbage forever. Nobody wanted to come here. Nobody. He had to put that shit together himself and then grow it from there. You know what I'm saying? It worked for the beginning. Then he, once he realized the defensive coordinator thing wasn't cutting it, got rid of Gibbs, pursued Greg Williams aggressively, got him to come in. And it went from there. And then it became a hot spot for coaches where, Rob Ryan, he had a job with the Rams. He quit. Before he even signed the papers, he was like, man, I'm going to New Orleans, man. You know what I'm saying? Going to New Orleans. Rob Ryan left the job right there. Spagnuolo could wait to come to New Orleans, So it just shows you, once you put the evidence down, things could change. It's just, I have no faith. No faith.
But I guess to that point, which is a great salient point, what evidence has DA shown in 4 years as an NFL head coach?
None, bro. None.
Like if I'm a coach, defensive coach, offensive coach, just a coach in the league, and I'm looking like, man, this man had a losing record with the Raiders. Like he had an awful record. Well, let me see what he's done with the. Shit, they had a bad season last season. Like no one's gonna want to come here, bro. The only people you might get to come here, and this is where I don't even know if they have the search parameters to do that. When you're looking at Priceline or you looking for shit, you filter shit out. Like I don't even know if the Saints are smart enough to do some filters. Maybe I'm being a little harsh because they did sign the wide receivers coach from Tennessee in last season. But like you're gonna have to get some people from college. That's the only thing I can see.
College coaches, they just hungry. They hungry. They trying to just get in the league. You know what I'm saying? And look, there's sometimes that works out for you. You can find talented coaches like that. And they're going to have to be shrewd to find talented guys like that can come in. And, or girls, they can come in and really coach them up, bro. You know what I'm saying?
But it's weird. We're in February, not all of it, but like a good majority of a lot of coaching shuffling has taken place. Now, there's still a lot of teams who are, trying to find their offensive coordinator in the NFL, defensive coordinator in the NFL.
Tell so much going on at the Senior Bowl this week, bro. Like you can tell, just so much is popping off. A lot of talking over the shoulder, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, you want to come over here, bro? Suge Knight.
The Suge Knight. Welcome to bro. But I truly believe that for them to fulfill those positions, if it's not going to come from internal, if it's not going to be that, I really believe that they're going to have to go to the college route because, like you said, college coaches are hungry. Maybe they can see themselves they're doing so well in the NFL that if they take this position, they can use that to catapult themselves to do something else, whatever it is. But it's pretty dire right now. It's dire right now. Yesterday was a good day. Got some closure. Got some picks. Was a good day. But to follow that up with today with the Kris Richard news is just kind of pulls it all back to what's the vision. But I kind of know what the vision is. The vision is until differently. The vision is DA's vision,
right? Which
is terrifying.
And look, man, I'm still gonna paint a glass half full.
Let me hear it.
Us as fans, we still don't know. We don't know. Even though if we know things are toxic inside the organization and stuff like that, we don't know how things turn out. Like, look, remember the Jags fans? They were coming to the stadium with clowns masks on, trying to get rid of Bulky. Remember, they wanted a lot of them wanted Leftwich as the head coach. And look, like sometimes you just got to let the process ride out. Sometimes you got to let the process ride out. They got what's my dude's name that we zoomed? Peterson.
Doug Peterson. I mean, at least Trent Baalke has someone I think for me, and you're right, but I think for me, and I hope to be wrong, is that at least with Trent Baalke is as much jokes that he gets, he did have a decent track record at some point in San Francisco with his drafting. Now,
exactly.
But like I think for me, I go back to like what has DA's track record shown.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Baker's, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices that excite your inner foodie. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices, plus extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week. You can also save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with fuel points. More savings and more inspiring flavors make shopping Baker's worth it every time. Baker's, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
He is a solid defensive coordinator when given the talent to do so. That's his track record.
That's it.
That's it, bro.
Like he as a head coach, at least this past season, he can win games when it really kind of seems like there's really nothing on the line. Like, yes, they won week one.
Bro. Like, I don't care. You go watch Saints games this season. They didn't win on coaching. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no.
It didn't win on coaching.
No.
It wasn't like, wow, what a shrewd move to do that. No, you never saw that. Never saw that. Me and you, we not even big on the whole go for it on fourth down every time.
Nope.
Get kicked. But these niggas, they got me like, what is you doing? I mean,
the SpongeBob I'm pussy mean, bro.
32nd in the league, bro. 32nd in the league. Like, come on, man. And that's not going to change because every time he did it, he I never heard him once say, yeah, that's a decision I wish I could take back or nothing like that. He never said that. He's like, look, we felt good about what we did. We look at our position right there. And he said himself, he likes to go with his gut. Situations like that. He's like, yeah, analytics, blah, blah, but I like my gut. It's like, okay.
It goes back to what you said. Go back 2 seasons ago. Bucks game, 9-0. Didn't take a chance that entire game, even in positions where like they were plus side of the field or even maybe in the red zone. Each time took the 3 points.
That was
right.
That was his pinnacle. Like that right there. That is what his football looks like. That's the game he wants to play every Sunday.
That's his forward. Like if he was the author of a book, that's his forward. Like that it is though. Like that game is
like that's forward. The game he wants to play every Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the game he's looking for. If the game doesn't go like that, you lose.
I lose every fucking game in the NFL, right?
It's unbelievable.
Oh shit! Oh, what the fuck am I gonna do with this team? Just love them and hate them at the same time. Still, that's my as your tweet said though. That's my team now.
That's my team though, bro. Always some shit. My team, man.
We just wanted to keep this one really short and quick. Do you want to very briefly talk about Tom Brady retiring, trying to take the 1 month we have as Black people and put himself in the forefront of it. But more importantly, just how it kind of ties into the Bucks, but like in the bigger picture, you know, Mickey Loomis and DA in an office gonna be there tomorrow. Like, oh shit, Brady retired. Panthers got Sam Darnold.
We own this division, baby.
Falcons, they got a second year quarterback. Shit, all we need to do is get Derek Carr in this bitch.
We win 9 games.
They take it, Ryan.
We win 9 games. We might have a home playoff game. Shoot. So they think. Ain't even thinking on a big picture, bro.
No, bro. They're not thinking like, oh shit, let me watch the Super Bowl and see how Howie Roseman constructed the Eagles and maybe or maybe how the Chiefs constructed their teams and maybe some things we could take from them to get on their level. Nah, they not talking about that. They like shit. You know how close we was to being in the Super Bowl instead of the Eagles this season? We beat them this year, right? Like, there's someone in your life or like a friend that's just always just shit talking about like how better they are. Like, that's the Saints right now, bro. That's making you lose it. Jeff Ireland at Senior Bowl right now saying, now, you know if a couple things went differently this season. You know who'd be in the Super Bowl right now, right?
Man, well, Jeff Ireland talking that shit right now, boy.
Yeah. Listen, Jeff can talk his shit all he wants. All I'm going to say about Jeff is you cannot let this man in round 1 with the defensive end on the board that he likes. Got to get him out the room. Get him out. Don't want him. Get him out. If he's one to talk about drafting a secondary player, I don't even gotta listen to the scouting report, Ryan. Don't gotta listen to it. Jeff, you like him? You want to draft this secondary player? Send the card in. Send it in.
Man, Jeff Riley said he's looking forward to working a little more in the first round, bro. Since Sean Payton was crowding him out, man. Shit.
Which is funny because from my knowledge, the only pick that Sean overrode everyone was a Cesar Ruiz pick. Ireland was the voice for Rankins. Ireland was one of the voices for Peyton Turner. Ireland was one of the voices for Marcus Davenport.
He was trying to trade them picks for Davenport, bro. I just can't believe an astute dude like him was. Come on, man.
Right. I mean, but if you think about it, body types are different, and they didn't give up as much as the Saints did, but it was no different than what he did with the Dolphins when they traded up for Deion Jordan. A project.
That's true. You ain't lying. That's true. That's
project.
True.
Athleticism, all that.
Oh, just tore up the what's that the chart, the Mark Draftable, whatever that Deion Jordan shit was ridiculous on that, bro. His measurables were off the charts.
So if you put it in that context, it makes the Davenport trade makes a lot more sense. Plus, the Dolphins, like, they were picking like top 10. Like, you got to go back to that draft. That one came right off the Minnesota Miracle. We just got one more pass rusher to, get to the quarterback, and fucking I can't even think of the fucking quarterback name anymore. Case Keenum wouldn't have had time. Like, we want to, whatever.
And
so
they thought Marcus Davenport was the answer.
Missing piece, bro. Like, I to this day, I believe that if that Minnesota Miracle game would have went different, I believe the Minnesota Miracle put a little fucking Wanda, like she did at the beginning of Age of Ultron, fucking Tony Stark, brother. Like, this vision,
that vision,
just
boy.
like just haunted Tony.
It was a virus. It was a virus in Tony.
Yeah. That's my thought. But Sean kind of even, like, Sean didn't he didn't really disagree with the Marcus Davenport thing, but so him saying that was interesting, because I was like, man, you've had a lot of fucking leeway
right
in this draft in the first round. Now, he might be saying that to cover base. From what I know, Jeff Ireland's voice in the draft runs pretty fucking strong, even when Sean was there. Sean wanted to draft Laremy Tunsil when he slipped, when he the whole mass thing and the drugs and whatever, and he fell right to the Saints. Sean was adamant about drafting him. Jeff Ireland talked him out of it. Said, this is our board. Got showing the rankings right here. We got a huge need defensive tackle. Blah blah.
Good guy, good character guy right there.
Guess who was right? Sean. Anyway, that's it. I don't want to say all this to say that Jeff Ireland and him being his function with the Saints has not been great, because it has been. It's been the secondary players he's been able to draft, the linebackers he's been able to scout and get, and all that, all excellent work. But I'm just saying, like, he's had his hands on a lot of moves in the first round, especially with the edge rushers, with Davenport and with Peyton Turner, where it's like, man, how much more hands-on can you be, bro? Like,
I would love to know. I just would love to know how the whole dynamic works in there. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure it's not Ireland, like, making decisions on trades and stuff like that. But I think he controls the grade. You know what I'm saying? I think he has a big influence on the grade that comes out in the end. You know what I'm saying? And
yes.
And on one level, that has helped the Saints the past couple of years. I think their grading has been overall pretty good. But I think
the one question I'd love to ask somebody is, well, I think I know what the answer is, so maybe I wouldn't even need to ask anyone. And I shouldn't be asking this question because it's going to make me annoyed. But if you had such a high grade on Patrick Mahomes, considering his position that he plays, quarterback, while part of me some of me understands the logic behind it. I really do. In the sense of just that, if you go back to pre-draft for 2017, I vividly remember, like, the slot that Mahomes was supposed to go in was like mid first round or like early 20s, because he's a project gunslinger.
That's why we was talking about it. We were talking about, like, man, he could be there, bro.
Yep. He actually got mocked to, like, the Texans a lot, because the Texans was drafting lower in the draft that year before they moved up for Deshaun Watson. And so logically, the Saints were picking 11. I could understand and see it and see Sean going, all right, I would not work them out. Well, first of all, going back, if we're just going back, they should have done a better job of keeping that private workout private when Sean went to Lubbock. Say whatever you want to say about the Jags drafting Blake Bortles or where they drafted him.
Nobody knew.
Nobody knew, bruh. Nobody knew. Like, it was a complete shock, blah, blah, blah. And then the story comes out after he was drafted of all the little sneaky shit, the little sneaky things that the GM and the head coach did. They flew, they did private workouts.
The GM was sitting in the stands with the fans.
That's what I'm saying, bruh. So maybe if the story of that Sean went to Lubbock doesn't even come out, then it's a different story. But I digress. But from their logic, from the team's perspective, they're like, all right, we know we have this super high grade on the player. And if you listen to Sean and Mickey just talk about how they do their process with the draft. Like they themselves do a lot of mock drafts and scenarios and things like that. And I'm probably sure as much shit and as much as we joke around about some like how recent incompetence they are, they do their whole research on terms of like probably like online in terms of like, all right, we look from all the mock drafts from like reputable sources online. This is where like the range we see a player going, blah, 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 right? And let's say for Mahomes, the average for him going was like 22, 23. And it's like, oh shit, we got this. We got this super high grade on him. We don't believe that anyone else in the league has such a high grade on him as we do. He's gonna be there. Like we don't got to move up for him. He's gonna be there. Boom, that's our pick. I get it. Like if you just exactly how I explained it, their logic of why they didn't move up makes sense to me. But when you throw the caveat on that it was a quarterback and you could have had your bridge and you've done all this moving around up in the draft on prior years before and then after to get the guy that you wanted, then it's like why was that just the one where you just sat in your hands? Like I would just want to know, bro. I would have to ask somebody and maybe they would tell me the exact logic I just told on the podcast, but I would want to know, bro.
Be so fascinating, man. It just pissed me off.
Made this man upset all over again. All right, this is it. We just finalizing it. We just wanted to get on here, talk about the whole Kris Richard thing. I did want to quickly before we wrap up get your thoughts about the Tom Brady thing and just overall.
Oh yeah, fuck him, man. Goodbye.
Like, bro, you already got the tweets when you fake retired the first time. Like, you're not getting any more.
That's what made it. It's made this one so beautiful because, like, there was no real fanfare. It was like, yeah, whatever, nigga. Bye. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gave you our well wishes last year, bro. It's gone now. You know what I'm saying?
Bye.
But it is, you know, on a bigger, like, just retrospective, it's just crazy. Somebody, I think ESPN or somebody had posted, like, the little screen grab of like Brady, Breeze, Peyton Manning, Phillip Rivers, Philip Rothenberg. Like that was our pretty much era, bro. You know, growing up,
man.
Like that was our football era. Like there was a group of elite quarterbacks, man. Like quarterbacking, like you might not see for a long time, bro. Like the quarterbacking now is just different. It's still good. It's still some great plays, but it's different. It's different.
I mean, I don't know, man. I just feel it is different. But this era, we have Mahomes, we have Joe Burrow, we have Josh Allen,
great players,
Justin Herbert. I'm forgetting. You know, I think Aaron Rodgers will still be included in that past era that you're talking about. Not this. Yeah, it's completely different though.
But it's different because. These were pocket passes. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Ben Roethlisberger, he moved around a little bit, but these were pocket passes. It was a pocket passing game, and he took that to like a elite level, like to a crazy level we haven't seen, to the point where like Drew Brees was throwing 5,000 plus yards, and it was just like, and the commentators was like, "Oh, big deal, ho hum, bro." It's just the rules. The NFL changed the rules. Quarterbacks are going to do that a bunch of times in the future. Quarterbacks still ain't doing that right now.
No,
you know what I'm saying? So it was just a different time. And now, like, to me, these quarterbacks now they got the second reaction plays, they got the legs, they just so dynamic. So it's just different now. So these quarterbacks are the quarterbacks for that new generation, the young football fans coming up and stuff like that. So I just thought it was interesting to see that kind of book close on that whole chapter. But I'm just so tired of Tom Brady, bro. Like, maybe years from now, I'm going to look back and be like, man, that dude was the GOAT, bro. Like, we really got a chance to see the GOAT play. But right now, just go away, man. Like, I don't want to see you no more, bro.
I don't know if I will say one thing that probably maybe no one's brought up today. It'll be interesting to see if he Debo Greg Olsen out the booth, bro.
That's what Greg Rosenthal said that. I was like, damn, Greg Olsen doing good too. Like, that's
man, I can't stand his commentary. Cannot stand.
I personally am not a fan, but like he's one of the higher rated.
Yeah,
like you know what I'm saying, commentators. You know what I'm saying?
He's Fox's number. He's the number one team on Fox. I mean, Kevin Burkhardt. I can't do it, bro. He does nothing for me. But anyway, it just Tom Brady retiring does really just put hyper focus kind of just of the status of the current NFC South. I'm not saying that it's going to be that, going into this season, but just quarterbacks. Only
it seemed like everybody thought he was going to the Raiders. I was like,
Raiders, maybe San Francisco.
Yep.
But Bucks quarterbacks under contract right now. Kyle Trask. Panthers quarterback, Sam Darnold. Saints quarterback, Jameis Winston, but he's probably going to be cut. Andy Dalton is currently free agent. Falcons quarterback, Desmond Ridder.
Ooh-wee.
The boneyard, bro.
Like Saints fans, I hope y'all enjoyed last off season when we was getting all the talk from the national media. Like, oh, watch for the Saints this off season, boy. You might not even get mentioned. But they gonna get mentioned just for doing some crazy shit.
Dumb shit, bro. Anyway, thank y'all for listening. We wanted to record this just to comment on the Kris Richard thing. I tweeted it earlier today, man. I'm gonna start charging Saints overtime, bro. Like, for me to come home at like 6:30, like again. I'm not trying to say I'm not grateful. Just like these niggas just keep us busy, bro. But as I guess as content creators, like ain't nothing better than covering this fucking team, bro.
I'm telling you, bro. They leave us with content, that's for sure.
Ain't nothing better. Anyway, thank y'all. We will, unless something else fucking happens, we'll be back next week recording something of some kind regarding the Saints and NFL and football in general. But we really thank y'all for listening. We hope y'all enjoyed these mini episodes y'all got in a very short period of time. But thank y'all. We appreciate it. Become a Patreon if you're not a Patreon. If you are a Patreon, thank you so much. The hashtag Saints Twitter Podcast football jerseys should be in by maybe, I think they're supposed to be shipped to me. Like, I should probably get them either on Super Bowl Sunday or like maybe a couple of days afterwards. So as soon as those jerseys come in, I will start immediately shipping all of those out. I'm very excited to see how they actually turned out, and I'm also excited to get them to the people who ordered one. I can't wait to see how they come in, how they come out. But thank y'all from the bottom of our hearts. We really appreciate it. And with that, we're out.
Peace.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Granger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgranger.com or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Baker's, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices that excite your inner foodie. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices, plus extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week. You can also save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with fuel points. More savings and more inspiring flavors make shopping Baker's worth it every time. Baker's, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.